You know, folks, the whole world is talking about Bitcoin. Want to know why? Maybe it's because Bitcoin rose in value over 150% last year, and this is just the beginning. Bitcoin is online investing that anyone can do. Visit bitcoinuniversity.org today. Take a master class. Download the Book of Bitcoin and take your investment portfolio to the next level. Visit bitcoinuniversity.org and discover all that a Bitcoin can do for you. That's bitcoinuniversity.org, bitcoinuniversity.org.
This is Sid and Friends in the Morning.
Entertaining and informative.
Oh, you're my best friend.
77 WABC.
You know, of all the appointments, of all the nominations President Trump has made here, which all have to be confirmed by the Senate, I think the easiest one was Homan. Now, Tom has been coming on this show specifically. I know he does a lot of television, Fox News. I don't know if he does a radio show more than he does mine. He's been on the show quite a bit lately because we love Tom Homan, and that was an easy one. He is the Border Czar, and we're lucky to have him back. Tom Homan, welcome back to Sid and Friends in the Morning. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right. A little overwhelmed right now, but always making time for your show, Sid.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And I understand why you're overwhelmed. I mean, there's so much work to be done, and kind of on a negative side, I mean, the liberal media has really been kicking your ass, Tom, which, you know, I guess they have a short memory. They forget that back in 2015, Barack Obama gave you an award. They forgot that, I guess. But all this incoming from the liberal media, I know you're a tough guy. You're going to say it doesn't matter. But, man, are they over the top, no?
Yeah, they are. But, you know, I've said it before. I don't care what they think about me. I really don't. I mean, I've done this job for 3.5 decades. I've worked for 6 different presidents, Republicans and Democrats. The job shouldn't be politicized. I mean, look, we have laws on the books, and all I'm asking to do is I'm going to enforce the law. Now, how dare I enforce the law? And that is what it's all about. They don't want the law enforced because this administration has shown if we don't enforce the law, we get 10 million people come across this border. There'll be future Democratic voters. We can swing the electorate. Look, I'm going to enforce the law, and if they don't agree with that, then I just don't care. I won't be bullied. I won't be silenced. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to do this job, President Trump, but it needs to be done.
100%. That's why you're the perfect guy for this job. And, you know, we love you here, Tom. But there are some people that say, well, I like Homan, but here's the deal. You know, if Homan and Trump are talking about deporting illegals that are criminals, we're all for that. But they're also talking about mass deportations, sending back illegals that are not criminals. Now, look, I know you come here illegally, you break the law. That's the bottom line. But other folks, they seem to be a little more sympathetic towards illegals that are not breaking crimes. Your thoughts?
Well, like I say, Trump and I have been clear that we're going to concentrate on public safety threats and national security threats. That'll be the priority. But let me tell you something. We have millions of people coming across the border, you know, making claims for asylum. They demand a right to due process. They demand the right to see a judge making claim for asylum. And you know what? We do that because the law says they have that right. However, at the end of that due process, when the judge says, no, you don't qualify for asylum, you must go home. Now, if those orders don't mean anything and we're not going to execute them, then what the hell are we doing, Sid? Shut down the immigration court because the orders don't mean anything anymore. Take the border patrol off the border because there's no consequences for entering this country illegally. No. The only way due process works is we'll give you the opportunity at great taxpayer expense to plead your case. But if you order removed, you must be removed. That is a law of the land. And that's and if you don't do it, what's the other option? You're going to enter the country illegally. You can make a fraudulent claim to asylum. You're going to lose your case. But you know what? You don't have to leave. If that's the option everybody wants, you're never going to fix the border because people continue to come to the country because you just put a carrot in front of that. No matter how your case turns out, you get to stay forever. We'll never be able to fix the immigration system that way.
I agree with you. I also would say this. Neither you or Trump are saying don't come. All you're saying is, correct me if I'm wrong, come legally. Do it the right way. That's all, right?
Look, the people that are coming across the border making a fraudulent asylum claim are cheating the system. There are millions of people standing in line, doing their background checks, doing their tests, all that's necessary to come to this country the legal way. Trump wants more legal immigration, but the illegal immigrants are causing the chaos on the border. And here's the biggest thing people need to understand. You think it's all innocent because they're not They're not a convicted criminal in the United States. However, when you bring millions of people across that border, or overwhelms the Border Patrol, where the majority of Border Patrol are no longer on patrol, what happens then? Record number of fentanyl killing 250,000 Americans. Sex trafficking in women and children up 600%. A record number of known suspected terrorists crossing the border. And over 2 million known gotaways, and how many of them came from countries sponsoring terror? So if you think this illegal immigration is a victimless crime, it isn't. Overwhelming illegal immigration, rather how innocent you think that is, creates bad things that happen in this country because Border Patrol's overwhelmed. They can't do their national security vulnerability, the national security duties. So they're too busy making sandwiches, changing diapers, making baby formula. We can't run our national security that way. It doesn't work.
This is the Border Czar, Tom Homan. He's got a really important job, and he's the only person that can do this job. I mean that. So, Tom, there's these the sanctuary cities, these sanctuary states, these politicians, like Kathy Hochul, for example, this really crappy governor in my state. I can't stand her. But she's basically saying, hey, Tom Homan, go F yourself, buddy. We got laws with sanctuary states, with sanctuary cities, and you're not going to do what you're going to do. Now, you've come out and said, let me tell you something to you governors and mayors out there. You got a second thing coming if you think we're not going to change some things. What is your message to some of these mayors and governors in these blue cities and blue states?
I cannot believe any elected official, whether it's governor or mayor, I just was clear on what our priorities are. What elected governor or mayor does not want public safety threats removed from their communities? What governor or mayor does not want national security threats removed from their communities? We're going to do it. You can either help us or get the hell out of the way, but we're going to do it. And they can push back and create all the local laws they want. We'll see them in court. We're not going to walk away. We're not going to. The president has got a mandate from the American people, a landslide election. His number one issue is securing that border and doing this operation. It's going to happen. And I hope law enforcement can work with law enforcement because her cops, NYPD, I've talked to hundreds of them. I'm in New York City an awful lot. Every one of those guys want to work with ICE because they understood, look, if you're going to concentrate on the criminals, that is great because it's going to make our community safer, make our jobs easier. So we're going to do it with or without their help. They're not going to shut us down. We're coming. And if we need to send more resources to Sanctuary City, then that's what we'll do. We'll send more agents. It's going to happen. So you better be able to deal with it.
I love it. 2 or 3 more will let you run, Tom. You did run ICE for a while there, and I love ICE. My buddy Curtis Sleewa here running for mayor, he always talks about ICE. But a lot of the politicians here, Andrew Cuomo's on record. He said bad things about ICE. Eric Adams, the mayor in this city, he has said bad things about ICE. We need them. We need ICE badly. Is it fair to assume, Tom, under your leadership, that ICE will finally get the respect they deserve?
We're going to take the handcuffs off ICE and let them do what they do best. ICE hasn't been able to do their job. Let me just say one data point I saw yesterday, and I was reading through some stuff. They said they're going to concentrate on the Biden administration. Mayorkas said we're going to concentrate on just the criminals. If you didn't commit a crime, you're here illegally, you're off the hook. We're only going to look for criminals. Okay, that's our priority. Well, guess what? Under the Biden administration, I looked at the numbers. The deportation of criminal aliens is down 74%.
Wow.
And that's your priority? So, look, not only do we got the regular criminals coming across the border every day, now we have a record number that were ignored here by the Biden administration. Listen, our plate's full. We're target-rich environment right now because of the failures of this administration. I would think someone like Eric Adams, who spent his career in law enforcement, will understand there's no downside on removing public safety threats from the public. That is his job, for God's sake, and I want to help him do it. But if you don't want to help, same thing to him. Get the hell out of the way. We're going to do it.
Yeah, because he's actually, every day's a different stance with him. First of all, he needs Trump because he's in legal trouble. You know that, Tom. And I guess him and Trump have a relationship. God bless them. But one day he says, yeah, I want to fix immigration. The next day he says, no mass deportation, and I'm bringing more immigrants in. From one day to the next, I have no idea what the hell the mayor's talking about. Do you?
Well, now as a DICE director, we removed more than 5,000 criminal aliens off the street in New York. I've done more to protect that city than he has, and I'm going to do it again. Either he helps or he stands aside, but we're going to do it.
Last one, Tom, the best. It looks like Trump is nominating Kristi Noem out of the Dakotas as the DHS secretary. Now, that's a big job, and you're involved with that because, she's got everything from the Coast Guard to Secret Service, to FEMA, to Flex, all that stuff, but certainly the border, too. And we know that Mayorkas should be put in prison for the job he's done the last couple of years in that same position. with the Democrats? A, do you have confidence Kristi Noem can do the job? And how much will you be helping Kristi in her effort to do a good job?
Look, I think Kristi Noem is a good pick. I look forward to working with her. And here's the thing about Kristi Noem and myself. This immigration is a big issue. And that's why President Trump is a genius. Pick a Border Czar that knows his business so he can tackle that big issue. Because she's going to have plenty to do, fixing the Secret Service, fixing FEMA, dealing with the Coast Guard. She's got a big job ahead of her. Luckily, I can help her. 100% of my time can be based on immigration, which releases her to do some other important stuff. Certainly, she's going to be involved with the immigration fight, but I'm just saying I'm a force multiplier for her to help her with the biggest issue facing this country now. FEMA's broke; it needs to be fixed. Secret Service broke; it needs to be fixed. She can spend a lot of time doing that. So me and Kristi Noem are going to work very well together.
Last one, Tom. This is the big one. This is the one everybody wants the answer to. How long is it going to take the most qualified man on the universe to do this job, Tom Homan? How long is it going to take to fix it?
Look, we already got as far as the border, we've already done it once before, so it shouldn't be as long as it took us last time because it took a long time to get the Remain in Mexico program, third safe country agreement. But, it's going to take a little bit to secure the border because the president's got to get these agreements back in place with countries that don't want to cooperate. But he forced them to cooperate by threatening tariffs. So we're going to go on the same road again, but we don't have to write the policy anymore. We don't have to write the plans anymore. We have them. So it should move quicker this time. And look, as far as the deportation operation, that's going to start day one, but how big is that operation going to be? It depends on the resources. What money is Congress going to give us to do this? How many beds am I going to have to detain people in? How many agents are going to be able to hit the streets? Will DOD help at least doing the transportation and some non-law enforcement duties, so law enforcement officers who are doing administrative jobs can get on the street and do what they should be doing rather than processing and building facilities and doing intelligence work and stuff. So DOD could be a force multiplier. They've been a force multiplier on the border to take law enforcement officers out of administrative duty jobs to go do a law enforcement job. So there's a lot depending on what resources we have. The more resources we have, the better we can do. So we'll have to wait and see what Congress does when President walks in that White House. Hopefully they learned their lesson from last time President Trump had the House and the Senate. They weren't helping them. Hopefully this time the American people have spoken and says this is a mandate. We expect not only the president, but members of the Senate and House to support this president, get done what we demand to get done.
I think they will. Listen, of all the appointments, they're all important. Chief of Staff, Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense. I really think you're the most important one. And I believe with Trump and Homan leading our country, a lot is going to get fixed. So congratulations, Tom. Best of luck with the confirmation. And you and I will talk again very soon. Thank you so much.
And so let me say this. I want to thank you and what you do every day. It's important that we control the messaging on this. And people like you, shows like yours that tell the American people the truth. We need that. There's been too much misinformation under this administration, so I look forward to working with you because people listen to you. And I'm not asking you to do us any favors. I'm just asking you to do what you always do. Tell the truth. Educate the American people because we can't lose the faith of the American people. We're going to do the right thing for them. We need people like you voicing this stuff. So keep telling the facts. We appreciate you.
I'm humbled. I mean it, Tom. I love you. I really do. I'm humbled. I really appreciate you saying that. It meant a lot to me, more than you even know. And I will continue to provide that message. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
All right, pal. There he is, the new Border Czar. Wow, that was awesome.